All right, so first question, this one's going to go to Bill Scherr here. And Bill, since you are the chair of the Committee for Preservation of Olympic Wrestling, can you kind of lend some insight into what you guys are doing and what the international wrestling community is doing, not only here this month, but moving forward in advance of the IOC meetings at the end of the month in St. Petersburg?
Great question. We're trying to unite the wrestling community and utilize this awareness and passion that the IOC's decision of the executive board to recommend the removal of wrestling has created to build awareness and an effort across the globe to keep wrestling in the Olympics, but also to utilize that to improve wrestling throughout the United States and around the globe also, and to make sure that we're utilizing this to create lasting change within the sport, so that not only are we keep staying in the Olympics, but we're improving the sport for the long term. And our main effort now is to do two things. One, we're trying to work to convince FILA that they should change and respond to the IOC's recommendations. So we changed the president of FILA. We believe that that's been a great move. And we're asking FILA to adopt certain changes. Change and simplify the rules to make sure they're more exciting. Change the governance structure to include more athlete representation and women in the sport. Try to promote better participation in the sport with the fans, and through social media, through website, through television broadcasts, and then try to make sure that the federation is governed better, broader sponsorships, broader participation in the part of media and television in the sport. And we think the federation is responding dramatically and effectively in getting these changes done. And then we're working to make sure the IOC and its executive board is aware of these efforts within the sport. And then beyond that, more broadly, we're trying to create an awareness and a public relations effort to build grassroots support in each one of the different territories. We're part of a coalition of international federations and committees like ours. In the United States, you've seen efforts involving public relations, website, Facebook, Twitter, all sorts of media events, and then culminating in this creation of this thing that we're calling International Month of Wrestling, being kicked off by this very competition here today, to build that awareness that wrestling is a sport that can bridge cultural gaps, bring people together, impact and transform young people's lives for the better, and it needs to stay in the Olympic Games.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's very well said.
All right, so next question is for Dan Gable. Dan, obviously you are a bit of a wrestling legend, and you know, someone who's coached throughout the NCAA and won many titles, and also an Olympic medalist in your own regard. What was your reaction whenever you heard about the IOC's decision, and tell me a little bit about how you feel about the efforts that have been done so far to save the sport?
Well, first of all, the first 23 years of my life, all I did was win in wrestling. So then the next 25 years as a coach, my athletes won in wrestling. So right there you take up a half a century of winning in the sport of wrestling. And so because of that, I have this groundwork that's set, a mindset that when something isn't going right, it hits me. So most people work during the day as well, but my mindset's so strong that I get woke up during the middle of the night with answers with things in the sport of wrestling. So I've been able to hook my family on wrestling as well, the family that I was born into and the family that I've created. And so because of that, it can be more of a 24-hour type of process. And with that in mind, the last few years I've been mostly doing promotion of the sport. And so when my wife woke me up at 6 a.m. in the morning to say she heard a rumor about wrestling, and I said, "Where did you hear it?" She said, on the the computer chat rooms or something. I said, "Don't worry about it, I'm going back to bed." But as I turned to, before I even got up, I said, I got to check this out. So it checked out to be accurate. And immediately I started weeping a little bit, but then I got mad, and then I went to work. And so that's basically where we're at. And so it's a 24-hour day job, 24 hours a day, and I love it. Only from a standpoint that I'm working at the same thing I've always been working on. I hate it because we should never have been here. We should already have had matches that are more thrilling than 0-0 matches. There's a few good ones that 0-0, but some of the rules and regulations and some of the things that people have to follow, and if they don't, then you can be a bad boy or a bad girl, you know, if you don't do your homework, if you don't mind your parents, you know. And so basically we got ourselves in trouble. It was preventable, and now we're trying to do some things that are difficult to do because not everybody's still on board yet. We should have everybody on board to get the sport back in, and we don't. And so that's the hard process, and that's where I think this guy is really going to focus in on trying to get more people on board to realize that some mistakes have been made, and we don't want to make the same mistakes over. So we got to have new leadership in that aspect.
Great. Bill, kind of jumping off of that, what are we doing to get everyone on board? Like, can you maybe go into detail about some of the challenges that we faced, and maybe about what exactly you know, the global community is doing, or if they're agreeing at all on this?
Well, sure. You have, obviously, there's 170 some nations which are members of FILA. There are 22 FILA Bureau representatives. And then, of course, in our own territory, there's plenty of interested parties and groups that are involved in wrestling. And they all have 2 or 3 opinions, and sometimes those change on a daily basis about what should be done. So we're trying to build consensus within that wrestling community, and we have a clear guidance. We can listen to the IOC. They've told us very clearly some of the steps that we need to take as a sport. So we're trying to utilize that information, build a consensus, and then move forward as a united group, passionate behind these goals. And with that, we also need the help of the grassroots folks in every one of these territories. So in the United States, we've created a PR campaign called Vision 2020 that's being led by our national governing body to get people around this country involved in supporting our efforts. So we have a website, keepolympicwrestling.com. We've got events all over the country. Anytime there's anything going on with wrestling, we're getting people involved and signing them up to join this battle. We have a couple great events in the month of May, starting out here. The Curby Cup right here in Chicago, in the Chicago area, is kicking off the International Month of Wrestling. So through this event, everything all around here in this event says the fight to save wrestling. So we're using this as that kickoff. Second, we've got Rumble of the Rails in New York City, Madison, Grand Central Station, May 15th. USA wrestles Russia and Iran. It's going to be broadcast on NBC. That event's going to be a great builder of awareness for our campaign. And then that weekend, the U.S. wrestles the Iranians in Los Angeles. Again, so three key events in this month to celebrate the International Month of Wrestling, build awareness, get people in the grassroots signed up to help this thing. And if we get everybody on board and we pull together, and we might be on our backs now, but there's never been a good wrestler that ever gives up when they're on their backs. We're going to bridge off, we're going to get the reversal, and we're going to win this thing.
Mindaugas, so we heard, you know, kind of what the American reaction to this was. Can you maybe tell us a little bit about what is being done in Lithuania, and what you and you know, how you guys are banding together with other nations, and just the general reaction to the decision in your home country?
I think that the general reaction was the same like in USA and in all the world. Everybody was angry, everybody was misunderstanding what's happening, and I think what our federation do is now try to communicate with people, that try to speak that wrestling is good enough, that this is the ancient sport, this is the best sport in the world. So we do a lot of things. We communicate with Belarusian guys, with Baltic Sea, Poland, Europe, and everybody's, I think, fighting. Everybody's working on this, and I think everything will be okay.
That's a good attitude. I like that.
Let's be clear about one thing. There is nothing wrong with the sport of wrestling. It's growing and healthy in the United States. There's 1 million active wrestlers here, 3 million total wrestlers. There's 10 million active wrestlers around the world, 30 million. And it's a dynamic sport that's valuable for young people and useful, and it builds character. And it's a sport that the world needs, and it embodies the Olympic ideals. It's wrong at the top and at the international level where it hasn't been governed well. That's it. The rest of the sport is healthy, dynamic, and deserves to be part of the Olympic program.
Speaking of healthy wrestlers, Ellis Coleman, you've done quite a bit on yourself, being a bit of a YouTube sensation to kind of, you know, popularize the sport. You know, what was your reaction? What are you doing, you know, as an active wrestler and a former Olympian from last summer, to help, you know, do your part to save the sport?
Initially, when I heard the news about it, I was kind of heartbroken because I'm defined by wrestling myself, and growing up with a tough childhood and tough upbringing, wrestling was everything that I had and everything that helped me and everything that I leashed onto, and it kind of hurt me to realize that my dream was being taken away. You know, every kid has a dream that they want to be a basketball player, a football player, a firefighter, whatever they want to be. And mine was to be an Olympic champion wrestling. And that morning, it just felt like, you know, will I ever be able to do this? I've been wrestling all my life, and wrestling has taught me all these life lessons and brought me out of a lot of stressful and tough situations, and put a lot of great people in my life, a lot of male role models and father figures in my life that I never had, and it was really stressful. The first thing I did, I thought of it when I first heard about it as if wrestling was gone that day, you know. So I hopped up on Twitter, hopped up on Facebook, and I joined all the other wrestlers. And I tried to petition, I tried to copy the link, share it with everyone and get it out there to save Olympic wrestling. And I continue to do so now to this day. And I'm really hoping and just giving it to God and praying that we'll get it back. And that's it.
Very nice. Well, guys,
Can I just add something?
I was going to open it to questions, but yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I wanted to take off because I neglected to mention someone in our audience as another special guest, but it goes off of what Bill said about wrestling being healthy around the world in so many countries, and both men and women. In the United States, we've seen wrestling amongst the women growing, and one thing about the Curby Cup, we've had some great clinics in the morning for youth because we want to promote the sport amongst the youngsters. This year's the first time we're going to have a clinic for women, girls, and we're so pleased to have Helen Maroulis, our national champion. Please stand up, Helen. And this is just another example that I would send to the IOC that we've got a worldwide sport, men and women, around the world. And we've got a sport, and I'm lecturing to the choir here, but a sport that's popular in so many countries where some of these other sports are undeveloped or you don't have them. You're not going to have golf in Armenia. You're not going to have the rugby's not popular in Nigeria. But excuse me, I had the wrong country there. But in Oceania, where they've got a woman carrying the flag for Olympic wrestling, the flag in the Olympics for wrestling, and so you see this all over the world. Men, women, it's so uniting, and so I just wanted to make up for my error, not introducing Ellen, but also mentioning that effort worldwide in both genders.
Thanks, Dr. Curby. Any questions from anyone out there? Obviously, I know we're all very passionate about this, but I want to thank the participants today for taking the time to talk about the vision here. And if you guys don't have any questions, we'll call it a wrap.
I would say one thing that we're going to run into people tomorrow. Hopefully we have a real large audience. We're going to hopefully have the television there when the politicians are going to present a resolution from the state senate. I think we're the 36th state to have a resolution to preserve Olympic wrestling. And there's, Denny Hastrick led that effort here in Illinois. But what are some of the things, Bill, that we could tell people in the audience? What can they do? We're going to have that in our program for the website.
Yeah.
What do we tell people, regular people, what can I do?
Well, that's exactly right. Go to the website, keepolympicwrestling.com or themat.com. You can register a signature of your support, stating that you support our efforts. You can contribute financially because we certainly are spending money to build awareness and to lobby the International Olympic Committee. You can tell other people about what we're doing. You can get them to do the same things. There's also a poll on InsideTheGames.com. It's a website that many observers in the Olympics watch. You can go there, and there's a poll as to which sport you would want to be in the games. You can register your support for wrestling. And you can do that every day. You can take your votes once every day, so go on that. Make it part of your morning routine, brush your teeth, and then sign up on that poll. And you know what? The best thing we all can do is to build wrestling and do our part for wrestling wherever we're at. Volunteer, get involved. You've created this wonderful event just through your own idea and inspiration from your son, and other people can do the same thing wherever they're at. The better, healthier we build the sport at the grassroots level, the better it becomes at the top.
everybody.
Oh, okay. You're finished with that program. Any questions for our select group here? Any questions? I'm sure that they're going to be here. They're going to be tomorrow as well. So if there's some time you want to talk to them, it'd be great. But I really appreciate it. Thank you.